In this session, I'll be discussing about how an Android project structure is kept and what each and every file and folder in that project structure means and how do you create a simple project in Android. Okay, so I'm going to start with that in the beginning, and each step I'll go elaborate on those steps so that you understand what they are, but we will not go so slow after this class. Only this class I'll be going as slow as possible in each and every step I'm taking throughout this particular video. Okay, so let me begin. First, let me create a new project. Okay, remaining all I'll ignore for right now. First and second is what probably we might be using a lot. First, to create a new project. Second one is to open an existing project. Okay, the other things I will not discuss right now, probably towards the end. Once you have got some familiarity, I think I can talk about them. So let me create a new project. First step. Okay, please note this, guys. As soon as you create a new project, okay, Android Studio asks you a few questions. I want you to notice this question very carefully. First, let's see the tabs on top, then we'll come to the options inside. Okay, look at the tabs which are on top. Number one, for what are you going to create an Android project? As I've already discussed in the previous videos, where and all Android is available and where and all you can deploy Android into picture. Okay, so in that case, you can see on the top there are around 5 tabs. First tab says phone and tablet. Okay, the first tab here targets all phones, Android phones, which is majority. Okay, so majority of the phones and tablets target Android. Apart from that, there is one more, Wear OS. Okay, what do you mean by wear? Whatever you wear on your wrist. Okay, watch, smart watches, basically smart watches. Okay, so you can see those kind of things are coming up, templates. Okay, so that is for smartphone, or sorry, smart watches or smart devices which can be worn by the user. Okay, then third one, TV, Android TV. Okay, it can, let it be Fire TV stick, let it be MI TV stick. Okay, whatever smart TVs we are getting right now, all are equipped with Android. You would have seen that in the box itself. Okay, so it comes with Android, and for that, if you're developing an app, all right, like for example, Prime Video or Netflix. Okay, all these are apps which are running in that Android TV. All right, so when Netflix wants to create an app, they'll have to use this template and create an app for their sake. Okay, so that it will work on any Android device. Okay, so Android TV basically. All right, then automotive. I've already told you about this in the previous slides. Okay, you see that it is available in the dashboard of many cars now. Okay, it's coming inbuilt in many cars, and it is going to be part of automotive. Okay, so if you are creating a dashboard, the screen of a dashboard in a car or any automobile, okay, in that case you use this kind of a template, automotive. Okay, then the last one, which is up and coming, okay, which is going to be the future of our developments. Okay, IoT, Internet of Things. Okay, so developing Android with IoT in mind. All right, so these are the project templates which are available. All right, so you can see that phone and tablet will cover almost everything. Okay, almost everything, all your smartphones, all your tabs which you have. Okay, probably a media player, portable media player, all those things will come into this picture. Okay, the ones which you wear, all right, that will come on Wear OS, which is let it be a band on the wrist. Okay, let it be something on the shoulder. Okay, so let it be something which tracks people. Okay, whatever it is, Wear OS will take care of it. And whatever comes on the big screen, Android TV, and whatever comes in your car or vehicle specifically is automotive, and the fridge, the oven, all those things are basically Internet of Things. Okay, there it is Android things. So whatever I've discussed in that previous slide, they have shown you templates in order to start. Okay, now before, I'm not going to use the remaining things because none of these are in your syllabus. Okay, it's always not recommended to learn this first. It's always recommended to learn this first. Okay, once you get the flow, then you can develop for anything. It's not a difficult thing at all. It is all the same. Only thing is there is constraints here. Okay, here you have very much space to do a lot of controls like button, checkbox, all those things. But here you don't have that much. Here you have more than what space is available here. Okay, but it is not like a mouse and keyboard thing. Okay, so all those things are a little bit constraints, but the way in which you develop will never change in any of these templates. All the ways of development is the same here in Android. Okay, only thing is the target device might be changing. Okay, so to whom are you targeting this particular Android project, Android app? For what are you developing? Okay, so majority of the time it will be phone and tablet. So I'm going to choose that. And already this will be chosen for you. Okay, next, what type of screen would you like first? That's the question which is not asked anywhere, but I'm putting forward as a simple word. Technical word is which activity do you want? I'll talk about activity a little bit later. Please note everywhere they have used the word no activity, basic activity, empty activity. Okay, everywhere they've used the word activity. All right, so I'll be talking about that in the next class where we will focus more on what is an activity. All right, so leave that all up away. Okay, leave the words right now out of your mind for a minute. Okay, look at the structure alone, look at the design alone, and then we'll understand what they are. Let's not bother about the keywords below them. Okay, just look at the design. First one, no activity. What do you mean by that? Nothing will be there. Empty project will be created. You have to add everything from the beginning. Okay, the one which will be automatically chosen is empty activity, which has basically nothing on the screen. What will be a basic activity which will have nothing on the screen but something with respect to a menu and a floating button, okay, which you normally see in WhatsApp and SMS and all those things. Right now you see these. Okay, so these are a little bit more, but they are not totally empty. Here it is totally empty. Okay, empty activity, and here it is little bit more. All right, just let's say just a thing to you guys. Make sure that I'll be choosing for all my projects empty activity. Okay, for all what I'm going to demonstrate, I'll be using empty. At some point of time, probably towards the end of the semester, I might be using the other activities. Why I'm telling this is because right now I want you to develop everything from the scratch. Okay, let's start from the basics to understand advanced things. Do not jump into advanced and then come back to basics. That's not going to be wise. Okay, so always we'll be creating empty activity, then we'll be adding stuff to it. But those who have already understood everything, okay, those who already are good in Android, they can choose what type of screen would they like to work with. Okay, let it be basic, let it be a bottom navigation. Okay, like how you have in Hike or in a lot of applications. You have in Facebook, you have the bottom. In Instagram, at the bottom you have the tab. You choose, you tap them, and then you go to that particular place. Okay, all those things I'll explain them as and when we come to that particular topic. Okay, then you have full screen activity for devices which do not have a physical button. Okay, and there's ads. Okay, there is maps, there is login activity, there is the tab, the other way layout. Okay, master, detail, flow. Okay, navigation drawer, which comes from the left side to the right side. Okay, most of you would have seen this in Gmail, App Store, etc., etc. And then settings activity, which is there in almost all phones. Okay, all phones especially. All right, and scrolling activity, and then you have tabs, tabbed activity, and then you have other things also. But I wanted to see there is last one small thing said C++. Okay, native C++. What do you mean? Why C++ is coming into picture? Okay, you can develop an Android app using C++ also. All right, but the support which is given and the complexity level which C++ produces, okay, is only good for persons who are hardcore C++ developers. All right, so those who want to learn and do Android would not prefer C++, and I would never prefer that to you guys. Okay, so always choose Java itself as the programming language for as long as you already know this language. If you're coming new to Android development, then I would prefer you to take up Kotlin. Okay, Kotlin is a new language. It's a statically typed. Okay, it's a little bit different one compared to Java. It's not little bit more simpler than Java is what they claim. But the thing is, those who have already learned Java, I would not prefer them to choose Kotlin, because you can always work with the languages you are already comfortable with. So let me choose this empty activity and go to the next screen, which is the second screen which you will see while you're creating an application. Now, here also there are few things which I want you to understand what questions the system is asking you. Please remember, I've chosen an empty one. Okay, which means there will be an activity, but nothing will be there on that. Okay, you'll just see a screen which will have hello world on it probably. Okay, that's all you will see. Remember this. All right, so let me just see what are all questions they're asking me in order to go or click or finish. Okay, only two steps. First, you tell what type of Android you would like to develop for. Second one, you just tell me some important details about your project, whatever you're trying to create now. Okay, first question, what will be the name of your project? Okay, now I know this is not something which is which you need to explain, but I wanted to just look at the tip which is coming to you. the name that will be shown in the Android launcher for this application. Okay, what name you type here will be shown in the Play Store. The name what you type there will also be shown in the user's drawer menu. Okay, when you open the home screen of your phone, or when you swipe up, or you go to the menus of or apps of your phone, what name you see there is the name what you type here. Okay, can I change it after creating the project? Of course, yeah, you can. All right, so but always plan before you develop. That's what I always tell you. Okay, never come to the programming part or the Android Studio part till you have a clear idea of what you want. Okay, if you do not have that clear idea, you will be revamping your project again and again. It is okay in a web application, it is okay in a desktop application, it is somewhat okay in a framework based application, but never okay in a mobile application, because you will find it difficult. I'm not saying it's not possible. It is possible to change a lot of configuration after I begin the project, but it is a very tedious process. So what I would suggest you to do is keep a clear plan of what you want, then start the project. Then you can easily finish the project, as well as you can succeed in creating that project. But if you start right now without even having an idea of how to do the project further or take it further, okay, you'll get stuck at some point. You will not be able to proceed till you fix, or you might be creating different projects. Okay, so please be careful with the name what you give. All right, and right now I'm just going to name it as Hello World. Okay, please note this app is going to be a Hello World app. Okay, so the name of my app will be Hello World. If I deployed this into Play Store, if I send it to Google, okay, after it passes all its security checks, okay, this app will be available in the Play Store as Hello World only. Okay, that's the first thing, very important thing, guys. Okay, it is something which everybody sees. Now the second thing what you see there is not something which everybody sees. In your system, probably it will come as com.example. Something. Okay, whatever project name you give. Now I want you to notice not the one which is in the text box, but the label. I want you to focus on the label. Okay, so you guys have already come across this word in Java, package name. Okay, so my question to you guys now will be, what is a package in Java? Can you please answer this? Then we'll come back to this. A group of classes, class. Okay. Set of classes and methods. Okay. Group related classes. Okay, fine. A group of related classes. Used to group related classes. Good. Okay. Group of similar types of classes. Correct. Yes, all these are correct, guys. What you guys are telling is right. Now, when do I require a package? When I have similar classes. Okay, what is a class then? Okay, you guys already know the definition to that. It is a blueprint of something. Okay, it represents something. That's why it's called a class. Okay, so when I have similar classes, I put them under a package. Okay, so there is a simple package which we normally take as example, math. Okay, you say import java.math. Okay, and whatever is inside math is related to mathematics. Okay, like square root or sine or cos or tan or whatever it is. Okay, so all these things are related to math, and you put them under one name called math. Okay, so the folder in which you put all these things, okay, the square root, the cos, the sine, the cosine, all those things, what you put is called as a package. Math is a package, and whatever you see inside that are classes, or what I guess you guys told, methods. Okay, whatever is belonging to that particular package. Now, when it comes to a package, I want you to understand something which is very simple. Okay, first thing, technically, all right, technically, what you guys told is correct, right? It is a class. Okay, you put them, you create a package and you put some classes in that package. Okay, all those things are fine. But basically, in layman's term, in simple terms, not technical terms, in simple terms, if you are trying to tell me what is a package, what would you tell me a package is? When you create a package in Java, in real thing, in what you see in the operating system, what will be that package? Package is a concept in Java, right? Okay, but in real world, what is package? Those who have done Java program with packages, you know, you create something in order to put, for example, I have a package called math, all right, and I have 2 or 3 classes inside that. Okay, in the system, how will you save them? A folder, very simple. Okay, Nasim has answered that. Okay, it's just a folder. It's just a folder in which you put some similar files. It is already there in your operating systems. Any operating system you take, okay, when you install it for the first time, you get my documents, my music, my picture, okay, my programs, like that you get some folders. Okay, those are just folder names which indicates to you what should be there inside. For example, if I see a folder which says my music, okay, what am I expecting? What are the files which I'm expecting inside that? MP3 files, wave files, okay, all which has audio related files. Okay, so I'm trying to put which is similar under one name. That's a package. Okay, in real world we call it as a folder, but in Java programming language you call it as a package. Okay, that's all. That's the simplest difference. Now, if instead of telling you my music, instead of telling you the folder name called my music, if I tell you to get me the real location of that particular thing, how would you tell? C users documents, or C users your name my music. Okay, so this is the actual path. So in the same thing, if you put subfolder inside, let's say for example in Java, okay, in sub packages, if you keep, how would you call them? Like for example, I have a package called Java, then inside that there is a package called math. How do you call it? You call it as java.math. Okay, now come back to this word and just look at it. Can you predict what is going to get created? Okay, I'll talk about this. Is very important, guys. This is important for you to understand why this name is very important for you guys. All right, first of all, before we go to that Android part of it, but can you understand what does this mean? Okay, this just means that there is a folder called com, and inside that folder there will be a folder called Thomas, and inside that folder there will be a folder called Hello World, and all my project related stuff will be inside this folder called Hello World. I hope you guys follow, right? This is what this word is trying to explain. Okay, now the next question would be, why don't I just keep one name? Why don't I just put the package name as Hello World? Why do I need, let me just put Thomas.Hello World. Why do I need all these things? Okay, it's because please think of how many apps are there in my laptop and how many apps are there in Google Play Store. Okay, I want you guys to just remember this. Okay, when you're developing in your laptop, we are in a bubble. Okay, we think our laptop is everything, but when you come out, when you try to publish this app, then you realize there are so many people who have already published similar apps. Okay, now I am trying to publish an app called Hello World. All right, what if somebody else has already tried it? What if an already existing app is named as Hello World? What will happen then? Okay, that is why Play Store doesn't care what name you have given to your project. Okay, it takes, very importantly, it takes your package name as the ID. Every app should have a unique ID, correct? Okay, that is something which is required because you have millions of apps on the Play Store. All right, so how do I recognize one app from the other? Okay, maybe you have same names, Android, sorry, let's say Angry Birds 1, Angry Birds 2. You have different ones, but they are coming from the same company. They are coming from the same manufacturer. Okay, so developer, sorry. Okay, so in that case, how do I distinguish one app from the other? What if another person creates an app called Angry Birds? Okay, will I be able to show my app? Yes, of course. Okay, because the package name is different. Okay, so to summarize, the package name, what you see here is a unique way of identifying your app and a way in which when you update that app, it does not create a new app because it is going to put everything in that same folder which you have created called package. Okay, please remember this. Second thing, the package name normally is recommended to be the reverse of your domain name. Okay, I'll repeat again. The package name is normally the reverse of your domain name. Now, for example, I think right now you can see that it says com.thomas, or in your system it will be com.example. Okay, because they are trying to give, you should not use the word example. That's why I changed it. Okay, I always recommend you guys to remove this word which is there in the middle. In your system, it will show example. Remove that word example and put your name, not your full name, guys, because some of your names are too big. Okay, but just a short form of your name. So it should be unique. Okay, it should be unique in the sense for us in the class I'm talking about. But please put your name. Okay, your name should be there. Right now I've put my name there. Okay, that's all I'm trying to tell you. Let's move on. When it comes to okay, I think it's better I show you. Okay, let me just open the browser. Okay, let me open Play Store. I'm just opening the Play Store, guys. Okay, for the app section. Let me open the app section of the Play Store. All right, and I want to search for, let's say, WhatsApp. Okay, now before I proceed, I hope you guys know what's the website of WhatsApp. Okay, you can guess what will be the name of the website of WhatsApp. WhatsApp.com. Yes. Okay, so keep that in mind. Let me just open WhatsApp. Let me search for WhatsApp. But I get a lot of things with the name and the similar icons and all those things because they're all different packages. But the majority, the one which I tick, the editor's choice, okay, the one which is verified is WhatsApp Messenger. So let me just click on it. And I want you to just focus not on the screen, but rather I want you to focus on the URL. Okay, let me just open the URL and scroll or just focus on the URL for a second. Okay, I hope you guys can see what I'm saying. Okay, how is this particular app being identified? Okay, what details is the system displaying to me right now? Google Play is showing me some detail about WhatsApp. Okay, so how does Google Play identify I'm talking to WhatsApp right now? Is because of the ID. You can see the URL here, ID. What is the ID? com.whatsapp, small letters, all small letters. Okay, so what is the domain name of this website? whatsapp.com. Okay, whatsapp.com offers all these things. So the reverse of the domain name will be com.whatsapp, and you find that there. Okay, so I think it applies to almost all companies. Okay, so if I also go and search for, let's say, let me search for some other app. Okay, Insta. Okay, let me go to Instagram. Okay, let me open that. Okay, so here again, please focus on the ID com.instagram.android. They have created one more folder because they have different versions of Instagram. So they created one more folder called com.instagram for Android. So if I go the other way around, it is android.instagram.com. I hope you guys follow, right? So that's the unique ID by which your app will be identified in the Play Store. Okay, the Play Store is the final location for your app to come. I hope you guys follow, right? Let me come back to this one. So what is the one which I'm typing here? Okay, the one which I'm typing here is the package name. Okay, according to Java. According to regular users, okay, for people who are seeing, this is available for everybody. It's not like only developers can see. Anybody can see this, of course. Okay, so what is this ID here? Nothing but package name. For a Java developer, this is the package name. Okay, for a normal user, it just looks like some name. All right, please remember, you cannot, for example, I cannot create a website or an app right now called com.instagram.android here. Let my name be anything, but my package name cannot be repeating. If it repeats, what will happen? Okay, Google Play will not host your app. As simple as that. You can run it in your own laptop, in your own phones and stuff, but you can never run it or publish it through Google Play Store. Package names are supposed to be unique. All right, please remember that. So this is a package name, guys. I'll talk about it a little bit later when we open the project. And please note there are no capital letters here. Okay, and there is no space involved, even though my title has space in between them. Here, spaces are stripped as well as all are converted to small letters. Keep that in mind. Okay, where will it be saved? Normally, typically it will go to this location, see users, your name, Android Studio projects, whatever project name you have given here without space, with the capitalizations as it is. Space will not be considered. Okay, never try to give space in your project location. Okay, that might throw errors sometime. Okay, but anyway, here you see there is no space in between any of those things. So it's okay. Next one, language. What language would you like to develop it in? Okay, you have two choices. You have Java as well as you have Kotlin. Okay, so if you're choosing Kotlin, you'll have to learn Kotlin. I hope you guys follow. And since this is a short semester and in college you've already been exposed to Java, nobody will teach Kotlin in college. If you want, you can learn it on your own, guys. I leave it to you guys. Okay, I'll not compel that you should learn Java, but then Java would be simpler for you guys is what I believe. All right. And so I'm going to choose Java itself. Now, the next thing which you're going to see here is very, very important. Yesterday in the class, I had repeated 2 times this statement. You should always target the latest Android which is available, because Android keeps updating, and by the time you finish this course, Android 12 will be out. Okay, by that time, should I target Android 12? Okay, when it comes, you should start targeting Android 12. But as long as the latest stable version is available, you should always target the recent version. Okay, so right now my recent version is 11. But here, the question is not target. Look at the question carefully. All right, it says minimum. Okay, this is where your crowd, how much of the people are you targeting, will come into picture here. Okay, every version of Android which you have come across has one or the other feature. Now, for example, most of you already know this, but I'm just putting it forward. Let's say that you have to install Google Pay in your phone. Okay, let's say that you have a phone which has Jelly Bean, which is shown there on the screen. Okay, Jelly Bean is the previous one, API 16 level, that is. Okay, but right now we are in a higher level. But please note, imagine if your phone has Jelly Bean, will it support? Can you install Google Pay on a device which runs Jelly Bean? No, you cannot. I hope you follow. All right, even if it is installed, there are some features will not be available. But then every app would have already given that in their description. What level? Okay, which version does it work with? Okay, all these things will be given to you guys by the app itself. I think it should be there somewhere. Okay, you can read about it and find out whether that particular app is supported in your device or not. Since I've already installed it, I'm not able to see. But anyway, if you are able to choose a particular app, okay, the app will tell you what is the minimum version of Android you are supposed to have in order to install my app. Okay, now right now you see below that there's a small information, also a piece of information is displayed to you guys. I want you to notice that also. Your app will run on approximately 99.8% of the devices which are right now registered in Play Store. Okay, I want you guys to focus on this. I did not say the target OS, rather I am saying the minimum OS you need in order to run the application what we are going to create. Okay, now I wanted to focus on this. There is a small link below to help you choose. Okay, you can just see a description here. All right, now majority of the users, stable version of Android was Jelly Bean. Ice cream sandwich to an extent, but those devices, most of you would have thrown it away by now. Okay, but minimum. Okay, so you can see the cumulative distribution of how many people on the Play Store have at least Jelly Bean. 99.8%. So if you're targeting everybody who's using Android, you should always say the minimum SDK you need is Jelly Bean. If you tell it is Jelly Bean, obviously you're targeting 99.8% of the people who have an Android phone. I hope you guys get what I'm saying, right? Okay, moving on below. You see, as the number increases in the API level, the number decreases in the distribution. Right now in your class, how many of you have Android 11 in your phone? Check. Okay, it's not that great a number. It will not be the entire class. Not all 116 or 117 students in this class will have Android 11 installed. I can't say all of you have Android 10 also. There are people who have phone which will not allow you to upgrade more than a particular level, which means you have to change the phone to get the latest level. All right, so keep this in mind. You see, right now, not Android 11 is out, but still, you see, they have given a chart of Android 10. How many percentage of people in the world in the Play Store, okay, which means who have registered to Google, have Android 10? Okay, 8.2%. Please note that, guys, it's not that great a number. So if you are saying you should have minimum Android 10, you are targeting only 8% of the crowd, not 100%, not the majority of the Android users. So the moment you say minimum Android 10, what happens? Okay, just think about it. The moment you say minimum Android 10, you are cutting short your app to a lot of people, and there is no point in giving your app only for that 8% of people. Okay, because we are trying to make money out of it, right? It should be target should be many people, not few people. All right, so you can see that you can see the count which is going drastically high here. Okay, 90% above is there from Lollipop onwards. At least Lollipop is fine. That's what Google Pay has done. Okay, in order to run Google Pay, you need minimum Lollipop, 5 and above. Okay, so that will allow you to make sure that there are some security features which comes. Okay, now if you wanted to see what is the big dist or not big, you can say significant changes from one OS to the other. Click on this side, you will see all the what do you call significant changes that particular OS has brought into picture. Okay, so you can click on each and everything and see what changes or significant changes that particular upgrade has brought it to you. Okay, you can see that, and it goes on like this. Okay, what new things have come in Pi, what new things have come in Android 10, and you can go on like this. Okay, so when it comes to Android version, I always tell you guys, okay, I'll not repeat this so many times, but then I want you guys to remember there are two things. One, minimum operating system required in order to run your app. Okay, second one will be target operating system. Okay, so target should always be the highest version possible. Minimum should be the lowest version possible. I hope this is clear to you guys. Keep this word in mind, guys. Target OS should be the latest Android which is stably available. Okay, and the minimum SDK should be the ones which runs in majority of your phones. Okay, so I'm going to leave Jelly Bean as it is. If you want, you can see the other API levels available also. Okay, if I target 10, I am targeting 8% of the people. If I say 11, it will be lesser than that. Probably 6 or 5% of the people on the Play Store will be having Android 11. Okay, but always choose the least possible version. And for example, in my program, I'm only going to display Hello World. Okay, for that I don't require any advanced version. But if I have some graphical ability, or if I want to produce split screen, or if I want to use a floating window, okay, all these extra features which are available in the recent version of Android, then I should choose the minimum target should be this much OS and above. Okay, so that time we'll change. Right now we'll begin with API level, whichever is giving 100 majority of the time. Okay, so maximum number of people, if I'm able to target here, I'll choose that. That's all. Okay, so I hope the configuration project is fine, but please note only this class I'm explaining it so well. Okay, other classes I hope you would have assumed and understood what and all I told, so that next time onwards I'll just click next finish. Okay, we'll just create a project. So let me just click on finish. In the meantime, I want you to just think, when I click on finish, basically system will start something like this. Okay, it'll start scanning files, it'll start to index. Okay, the first time it will be much slower. Even this system, you can see it is not that fast. It has 8 GB RAM. I'm not running anything else except for the Google Meet, which is there on the Chrome, as well as here. You can see at the bottom there is something called Gradle::build. All right, I explained about what is Gradle yesterday. I'm going to show that today. Okay, but anyway, till this build is over, do not do anything. Do not see that the code has come, so I'll start. No. Do not touch the system till the entire thing is done. You have to be patient enough for the system to first index itself and come without any issues. If there is an issue, you'll have to fix it. Then only you can proceed to development level. Okay, so please keep this in mind. Let us wait for this. And in the meantime, I'll just recollect what is Gradle. Okay, does anyone remember what is Gradle? Yesterday I discussed in the class. Can anybody tell me what is Gradle? Toolkit to manage a build process. Okay, good attempt, Diksha. That's correct. Okay, it's a build system. It's a tool which helps you in building the software. Okay, correct. All right, so it's a build system. It helps you do everything automatically where you are supposed to do it manually. You are supposed to manually compile the Java file. You're manually supposed to convert that Java file into a Dalvik executable file and then convert or put that into an APK and then put it on a phone. Okay, but here all you do is click on play. All right, you just click on start button or deploy button or run button. You just give that button and everything happens in the background and you get the output immediately. Okay, so that is done by Gradle. That's what Gradle is doing right now. At the bottom, you can see Gradle::build. It's still going on. Okay, it will be a tedious process, guys. That's why I said as good the RAM is of your laptop, this will be faster. Okay, my laptop is 8 GB RAM and you can still see how it is going. Okay, it requires sometimes internet. The first time, probably it requires internet the first time. Very first time, it requires a lot of internet. After that, it will become proper. Okay, but right now, even though it's not coming from the internet for my system, the build system, Gradle is still doing it in the background. Okay, you can see how long it is taking. Gradle sync has started and it is 3 minutes ago it started and it's still going on. Okay, and once it is done, Okay, you can see that this is what is happening. Okay, it is configuring this project what I have created into Gradle. So Gradle is building all things which are related to my project right now. And once this screen here, Android and the project structure here comes, we are ready. Okay, but it takes a little bit of time. You need patience. Okay, do not think it's a mistake. Okay, it's not a mistake. It always is slow like this. Okay, that's why we said it requires patience to learn Android. Okay, not just programming alone. Okay, so programming we can build. Every day you do a program, we build a little bit of our programming skill. We build a little bit of our technical knowledge. We build a little bit of logic. Okay, so keep this in mind when it comes to a program in Android. Okay, it is more about how to deliver it. Okay, what to deliver we will have to think about before we even begin the project. Okay. Harshit has responded saying it is build system based on the entire file. Correct. All these are correct answers, guys. Okay, it's a build system. Okay, so the next part will be what if Gradle is not there? What if Gradle was not available? What am I supposed to do? You are supposed to compile each and every Java file which you are creating. Okay, and then using Dalvik executable, you'll have to convert all those class files, which means the bytecode files which you got from Java compilation, into a DEX code, Dalvik executable. Okay, and then the classes.dex, which I showed you in the diagram in the previous class, along with the other resources which are required for the app, will be combined and put inside a package using a package manager, and the outcome of that will be a .apk file. Okay, and then you take that apk file and then put it or copy paste it into your phone or your emulator, and then you install it and then you run it. Okay, this is what you do. But right now what we do, because of Gradle, all we do is click on play. You just click on the play button. Gradle does everything for you. Okay, so keep that in mind, guys. Again, we have some time revolving here because it takes some time, guys, the first time. Okay, once the project is set up and the Gradle is ready, next time onwards it will be a little bit slow, but not this slow. Okay, it's already 5 minutes over. But anyway, in the meantime, let me just tell you a few more things. Okay, when you do a project, okay, when you do Android app, okay, whatever app you guys are using right now in your phone, or whatever you are using apart from Google Meet, okay, whatever you are using in your phone, okay, think about this, guys. Java is not meant for designing. Okay, those who have designed or used applet in this class would agree with me. Java is not so good for developing or designing. Okay, designing in UI, it is not that great. Okay, why am I telling this? Okay, there is a reason why I'm telling this. In Android, we are going to use Java. That's what we have established already. But what about the design? Coding, yeah, of course, Java. But what about the design? Okay, now what if I do the design also in Java? How am I supposed to do? Okay, when you do design also in Java, it becomes a very tedious process of remembering the design part and the coding part. Okay, now Android has given you a clear distinction between these two. Okay, it says in Android, we focus with the development. Programming part, we need Java. For designing part, don't want Java. Okay, so for designing, what we use then? You can see on the screen, right next to the .java file, you see one more file which is located there. Okay, XML is used, correct. All right, for design, we do not use Java. Okay, that's one relief. Okay, the reason is if you use Java, and please note the XML will not load until your Gradle is finished. So the only thing you can actually see while the Gradle is building is Java code, because this does not require any building right now. Okay, but anyway, why I'm telling this is you can see right next to that you have a .xml file. I'll show you the output shortly, but let me just show the code at least. Code will be visible anyway. Okay, so this is the code and it is still not built yet. Still building. Okay, it depends on every laptop, guys. Maybe mine is much slower. Okay, but it depends on your laptop. Okay, not all laptops will be this slow. Okay, you see that there is an XML file and there is a Java file. Okay, even though there are two files, what you see when you run, you'll get only one. I'll repeat again. Even though you see XML and Java here, two files are open. Okay, when you run, you'll only see one. Okay, I hope this is clear to you guys. All right, why do we need this? Okay, it's very, don't get confused with the code, guys. I'll explain that shortly. We are not going to type the code. We are only going to do the design. Okay, so let me just keep that. I'll go to the Java code and I'll explain the code also. Every line we'll have to understand before we proceed. Okay, so I always believe that in order to understand a program carefully, you need to understand what is written. Not because somebody else has written that it should be correct. No, it should not be like that. Okay, whatever is written should make sense to us. If it doesn't make sense, it is not proper. Okay, syntax error, spelling mistakes, all those things aside, okay, whatever code you have written, you must be able to understand. You must be able to explain it to somebody. Okay, if not, do not write that code. That's all I'm asking you guys. All right, so keep that in mind. Now, moving on. When it comes to the idea or the strategy of Android to develop applications, is that design is completely taken care by XML, and the coding, the logic of your program is taken care by Java. Why XML? Okay, why a markup language should be used in order to do this particular work? All right, the reason is because I want you to distinguish. First of all, the work should be divided. A designer and developer need not learn the same language in order to get the output. Now, a person who is a web designer will be obviously comfortable writing HTML code, okay, which is markup language code. Okay, so when a person is very comfortable writing HTML code, he should obviously be comfortable writing XML code, because HTML at least has restrictions. Okay, saying that you should use this tag only, this tag you have to memorize and stuff. XML is user defined. Okay, in this case, it's not user defined. I'm just telling generally. In XML, you have it's an extensible language. That's why it's called XML, extensible markup language. All right, so it can be converted or it can be twisted and tweaked according to your requirement. Okay, please remember that, guys. Okay, so why do we need XML for design? Because it helps you design without even bothering about a lot of logical things which normally Java does. Okay, so when I do the design in XML and I write the code in Java, when I run the project, they both become or run as one. Okay, because this XML, what you see, will also get translated or converted back to Java once again. Please keep this in mind, guys. In one of the classes where I had talked about object oriented programming, I had done a program or a project with desktop application. I guess you guys remember. Okay, a desktop application in which I explained object oriented programming, and I did a small login page or something. I'm not sure. Okay, but that login page, if you remember, I wrote the code also as well as the design also in the same project, one file name. Okay, let's say form1.cs. Okay, if you say form1.bb, form1.cs, you will see the design's name also is form1, and the code name also was form1. Okay, so you guys understand why I'm telling this, right? Design and code in earlier versions were written in the same programming language. Design was in C sharp, logic was in C sharp. Okay, which was kind of difficult. But then when it comes to XML, it is easy to understand because it is tags. Just like how HTML is located. Okay, there is nothing to learn in HTML and XML. They are all basically tags. Okay, each tag has a name and they have their own attributes. Okay, now every class when I talk about some words, okay, please note this is why in the first beginning classes I normally take object-oriented programming first. Okay, so the keywords what I am going to use right now will be revolving around those 5 keywords only. All right, I wanted to show you guys that. Okay, but my system is still loading. It's 12 minutes now and my system is still loading. Okay, sometimes, yeah, you'll have to wait this much. Sometimes it'll be faster. I can guarantee that in the lab it'll be faster because it is 16 GB RAM. Okay, but in my laptop I'm not sure. Okay, it's still taking time. In yours might be faster, might be slower. Okay, you can turn it on, do something of your own and then come back, but not in the laptop. Okay, if you try to keep working in the laptop, your system might be much slower. Okay, so I prefer when you open Android Studio, do not try to open anything else. Okay, try to open it in a phone or something, but not in the laptop. Okay, okay. As I was saying, once the project is built and the structure has come, okay, and this particular part you see, all right, I'll just zoom in there, guys, just to see whether your work is done. At the bottom, you should be able to see something called Gradle Sync Finished. Okay, so this is required. Okay, so once this comes, you might be saying that it is fine, and all these what you see here will come only if everything is proper and your project has been kept structure wise, or it is kept properly. Okay, and once it is done, you should find your project. Okay, it will automatically open, but if it is not opening up, go to this side, you find the number one thing called as project. So just open that up, and inside that you are supposed to see two folders. Okay, you're supposed to see two folders. One is app folder, the other one is Gradle scripts folder. Not a folder as such, but then it looks like a folder, right? So first one is the app folder. The second one is the Gradle scripts folder. All right. So to keep it simple, I'll go in depth of all these folders right now. Okay. So first thing is app is where all your program, all your app related files and resources and everything else will go into the app part. Okay. It's also called as the Java module, right? Where you put everything. What is this then? This is the Gradle scripts. Okay, this normally we do not touch. Normally we do not open this up, but rather in some scenarios we might have to change the configuration of my project, the way in which it is compiled, the way in which it is executed. At that time I'll have to change code here. In the last class, in yesterday's class, I talked about two things. In Gradle there are two levels. One is the top level, the project level Gradle, and the next one is the module level Gradle. I hope you guys remember that. Okay, that's what I showed here. We will not talk about it right now. We'll come back to it when it is required only. Okay, so this is not so important guys right now because everything is automated here. Okay, I'll come back to this when it is required. So right now I'll just close it. Here, this is the most important part of your entire app. The first thing you see, the name itself is app. So let's just open it up, and in that one you will have three major folders. Okay, in the entire Android structure what is given, there will be two major folders, app and Gradle scripts. Okay, so in app you have three major folders. One is manifest, number two is Java, number three is RES, short form for resources. Okay, can you guys remember this? RES here means resources. Okay, please keep the first letter of this word in mind, R, capital R. All right, or uppercase R. Remember that, that's also important. I'll tell you how and why and all shortly. Okay, so let's just open it up and see what and all are there inside this. Okay, by the way, I've not done anything. All I've done is created a new project called Hello World. That's it. Okay, so let me just open manifest and see what is inside that. Okay, let's not get into the file right now, that we'll take in the next class. But right now just look at what type of file it is. That's all. I wanted to just notice what type of file it is, not what is written inside. That we will say in the next class. But all I want you to see here is it is a manifest file. Okay, it is named as Android manifest. What is the file? XML. .xml. Okay, the file type here is XML. Simple. All right. I'll come back to what is manifest, what is this Android manifest.xml later. Let's go to the second folder. Okay, the name itself tells you what it is. I don't need to explain to you guys, but just keep this in mind. The name itself tells what will this folder contain. It will contain all the Java files. Okay, so let me just open that up. Okay, and I want you guys to see that there is two things which are highlighted in, or a background color is given to you. Okay, ignore those two currently. Most of the projects what we do, we will ignore this part till we go to the testing point of our project. Okay, since we are not into the testing part of our project right now, we'll just keep these two. We'll ignore these two right now. Okay, and then come to this one. This also looks like a folder. All right, ignore these two right now guys. Just see the one which does not have anything in the bracket. That's the original one. Okay, so let me just open right now, and inside that there is one file, main activity. One word is written, but there's no file extension. Okay, so let's just double click and see, and you tell me what type of file it is. And it's already given here what type of file should be there inside. Okay, so when I say main activity, when I open it, what do I get? I get main activity.java. So this file, what you see here, folders don't make sense to me, only files. Okay, so file is a Java file. So this is a Java file. Okay, what does the C in that icon indicate? Okay, you could have guessed by now. The C in that indicates it's a class. Okay, the C here in that icon, I guess you can see the icon. There's a small letter written there, C. Okay, that's just to indicate it is a class. That's all. All right. Now, I told you in the beginning that package names are folders, but here it shows package name itself is com.thomas.helloworld. Okay, but this is not how your original file is structured. Remember that guys. be very careful of how your actual file is structured. Okay, so let me just try to open it. Let's see where this file is located first, and then I'll open it. Okay, so I'll just say right click on that file and I'll say show in Explorer. Okay, so let me just try to see where this file is actually located in my hard disk. Okay, now I want you to go a little bit more focused on, this is the file main activity.java. This is stored in my hard disk right now. Okay, where is it stored? It's inside a folder called hello world. Perfect. Okay, but in my project structure it shows the folder name is com.thomas.hello world. But here I'm able to see that main activity is inside a folder called hello world, and hello world is inside a folder called Thomas. I hope you guys can see, so I'll just, okay, so here, okay, and I'll go to the folder called com. Inside the folder called Java, let me begin from that. Inside the folder called Java, there is a folder called com. Inside that com folder, there is another folder called Thomas, and inside that there is another folder called hello world, and inside that there is main activity.java. I hope you guys got the flow. Alright, so now come back here and see how is it written. com.thomas.hello world. These are all subfolders. Where's the actual file located? That's all is highlighted in the ID. So ID is trying to avoid all these complexities from you to keep it as simple as possible. Now, if I want to add another Java file, where am I supposed to add? I'm supposed to add here. Just right click on this and then add a new Java file, Java class C. Alright, you can just keep adding. Once you add it, it will go to the same folder as hello world, which is inside Thomas, which is inside com. I hope you guys follow, right? This is the Java code. Okay. Now let's go to the next one. I said before this got cut, I told you that there is two phases, right? One for design, one for coding. And the coding part I've already seen, nothing is written right now because nothing is there in my project. Okay, so let me go to this third folder. Let me zoom here. Okay, so first folder was manifest that we have seen. Second folder was Java that also we have seen. Third folder is RES. I already told you what is RES. Okay, short form for resources. Now, to keep it simple, guys, not technical, to keep it simple, let me just tell you, anything which is not a manifest, okay, I'm repeating, anything which is not a manifest, not a Java file should go to resources. Okay, now you might ask, what is anything apart from Java? What do you have apart from Java? Okay, already you know XML is there apart from Java. You might ask this question, this is also an XML. No, why is it not put inside resources? Okay, this is a higher level XML which holds the configuration, how your project is supposed to work. Okay, not how your app will be shown, how your entire project is supposed to work is given in this XML file. That's why it's given in a separate folder called manifest. It manifests your app. Okay, so let me just keep it there. And then what and all other things I require in an app? Okay, just think about it, guys. First thing, your app can contain images, your app can contain videos, your app can contain audio, your app can contain, let's say, different resources, right? Videos, audio, okay, images, etc., etc. You can contain a lot of things. So icons, those are also images anyway. We can keep them all like that. So all these things are possible as part of resources. Okay, so you see that there are right now only 4 folders there because for a hello world that much is enough. Later we'll be adding a little bit more folders, but I'll keep all those in later. Right now just look at this, the name drawable. When you see the word drawable, automatically you understand that it is something with respect to images. Okay, something which you can see, the picture, drawable. All right, next one, layout. Okay, how is my app laid out for me to use? Now, what do you mean by a layout? Whatever you see, how the app is designed. For example, WhatsApp has its, this one as a list view. You see all your chats in a list format. Okay, so sorry guys. Okay, so that is one. Okay, so every code, okay, every design what you see on your phone right now, okay, any screen what you see, there's a layout there. Okay, they some people would have kept the search bar on the top, some people have kept the search bar on the left side. Okay, some people have kept the menus on the left side, some people have kept on the bottom. Okay, how they want to show the app to you is the layout. How you want to render your app to the user is the layout. Okay, that is design. So if it is design, then it should be written in XML. That's what I opened to you guys a little bit before, but I could not show you the design, but rather I showed you the code part of XML. Okay, so let me go to the design part of XML. Okay, when you go to the design part of XML, if the project is already loaded, initialization will happen faster. Okay, and since it's the first time, it will take a little bit more time. But in the meantime, let me just tell you that this is the design phase. Okay, so layout. In the meantime, remaining also, I'll just go through what is MIPMAP. MIPMAP is the launcher. Okay, you can see it's an icon. Okay, IC, and then it says launcher. Okay, what is this IC and what is launcher? IC is short form for icon, and launcher is the launcher icon. Okay, what do you mean by the launcher icon? Right now, how do you open an app? You tap on an icon, right? Okay, you see a round or a square, depends on your theme, what you're using. You see something on your phone, you tap on it, and then you open it. That icon, what you see while you tap on it, is the icon. Okay, so if I install this app right now in a phone, what icon will be shown to me? I'll just open one of the icon and I'll show you. This icon will be given as the icon of my launcher. So when I install this app on my phone, this will be the icon of my app. Can I change it? Of course you can change it. Okay, we'll do that in following classes, but just keep that in mind. Why is it called MIPMAP? Okay, it's because that's an algorithm, guys. MIPMAP is an algorithm which automatically creates PNGs based on what size of screen you are installing this app on. Okay, for example, some people have a very small phone, like 4-inch, 5-inch phone. Some people have a tablet. Some people have TV. Okay, so when the same APK is getting installed in different phones, okay, every thing, you cannot use the same icon. Okay, so depending on the screen size of your phone, icon should be chosen. That is automatically done by this algorithm called MIPMAP. That's why we put everything. Only icon we put here is the icon which is launcher icon. Okay, so I'll talk about that later. Values. What else? Colors. Okay, if you have themes in your phone, in your app, sorry, and if you have text in your app, all these things, which is not programming, which is not logic, comes into resources. All are resources apart from Java code. I hope you guys follow this. Okay, that's all I want you to understand in this particular part. Next, we will go a little bit in depth, but I want you to understand this part, guys. Whatever belongs to Java, whatever has file extension as Java, should be put inside the Java folder. Apart from .java, okay, and manifest.xml, everything else should go into resources folder. You will have to divide them based on what type of folder they belong to. You have to categorize them, organize them neatly, and keep. That's all. Okay, so let me just go to the design part, guys. This is the design of an Android app. Okay, you see already there is something written there called hello world. Okay, now you might ask in the beginning of the session, why didn't I just directly start with Android? Why did I talk about object-oriented programming in the beginning? Okay, I just want to explain that to you guys here. Okay, what is object-oriented programming? You guys remember that, and I'm taking the 5 keywords again back in Android just for a second. Okay, then I'll go to the running part. Okay, so what is the first keyword? Class. All right, you can see that this entire thing is actually a class. The call main activity, this entire thing is actually a class. Okay, I'll show that in practicality later, but then just think. All right, so there's a label here, hello world. Okay, so I can drag it, I can move it here and there, and all those things are happening. But when it comes to this particular label, okay, let me right click on that label, and I can see there are some things extra here. Okay, basically I'm looking for another word. Okay, so according to your knowledge so far, you already know what is that label. Okay, can you guys answer me saying what is that label? Is it a class or is it an object? The one which I have shown you, what I'm dragging and moving around in the screen right now. Okay, can you guys tell me what is this? Is it a class or is it an object with your knowledge right now? What is this? What I'm moving on the screen? Perfect. So you guys can identify that, right? So if hello world is a object, what you guys have told me, what will be the class then? Looking at that, what do you predict will be that class? What will be the class of this? Label. Perfect. Okay. It looks like a text box, Mohit. Okay. Probably because it has a box around it. Okay. Label. All right. So all you guys have that idea as a label. Label is something which is a text which will not be edited by the user. User is just to put information there. All right. So anyway, this is the label that you guys know. All right. I need not call it label. I hope you guys follow, right? Everybody can use their own words. You know that proper noun can be pronounced or used anyway. Okay, so you can be spelling it anyway. You as long as you identify the same thing, name does not matter for us. I hope you guys remember that I told you it as synonyms. Okay, some keywords we had used. Okay, so let me just go to that. If this is an object, it should obviously have three things, right? I hope you guys remember that. Let me not ask you guys and waste time. Let me just move on. Okay, the first important thing, I'll not talk about the remaining two right now. Right now, I can show you one thing. Okay, what we call as properties. Okay, in Java, you call it as properties. Okay, I told you that same word called properties have a different synonym in different contexts. Okay, in HTML, you call them as, anyone remembers? What do you call properties in HTML? You don't use the word properties there. You use some other word. Can you tell me what is that word? Perfect. Attributes. Okay. Now, all I want you guys to do is to focus on the right hand side of my ID. Do you find that word? Attributes. Okay. Let me click on it and it comes. Okay. I want you guys to notice what are attributes. What did we discuss about? What are attributes? What are properties? Basically, they are name, value, pairs. Okay, so I am just showing you. I'm going to change that word, hello world. Okay, so they have said the text is hello world. I'm going to replace that with hello world from MCA. I'm just changing it. Now let me go back to my screen and zoom, and you see that the label is changed because I changed its property. But since it is XML, they use the word attributes. Okay, and I've changed the attribute of that particular thing, but the concept is same. That's what I want you guys to understand, not the words. The words what they use might be different. The words, the context what they use might be different. If the concept is same, please identify that. Okay, so now I've changed the attribute to nothing but the same thing. You can see this side, all attributes. If you see, okay, let me just open all attributes. All the left hand side some name is there, right hand side some value is there. Name, value, pairs, attributes. Okay. So on this side, right, left hand side, you see there is something called palette. Okay, in the palette you have a lot of controls. Okay, so let me just zoom out. There are a lot of controls, like how I told you in .NET and all. I showed you that with Visual Studio. You can just drag and drop a button. Okay, when I'm dragging and dropping a button, basically what am I trying to do? This is the class, and this what I just dragged and dropped is the object. Okay, I'll explain that design and all later, guys, but I'm just looking at the concept what we had seen in the beginning in practicality. Okay, so here this is the class. What I dragged and dropped is the object. So each object has its own attributes. Okay, so here ID of the button, okay, the text which will be written inside the button, like that, lot of attributes are there. Since I opened all attributes, it is showing everything, but it's not required. Okay. So I hope you guys follow this, right? Now with this in mind, let me just go into, let me just delete this. Okay, let me just run this. I'll talk about object-oriented programming in the next class, but let me just keep this hello world from MCA and let me try to run it. Okay, since already it's half the class is over. Okay, I will just try to run this program, okay, in an actual phone, because I'm not going to use emulator, guys, because it's going to be dead slow. So I'm going to use an actual phone. I'm going to connect one of my phone to the laptop. Okay, so I've connected. I have a spare phone which I don't use, so I'm just putting it here for development purposes. Okay, I have a phone which is Redmi, okay, which is MI phone. So I've connected that. Now you can see that my phone has been connected. Now I'm going to use app just for this. Is not required for you guys. You can use your actual phone itself. But since I cannot show my phone to you guys on the screen, I'm going to use another app called Visor. Okay, you can install it as a browser plugin or something. Okay, it will help you to enable, or it will help you to see your mobile screen on your system. Right now, I am trying to do that because I would like to show my screen, the mobile screen of how to enable. Okay, all those things I'm going to show you right now. Just give me a minute. So once Visor is open, let me open and show you my phone. I'm not going to use the emulator because right now itself it's so slow. If I use an emulator, probably it will again lie down. All right, so once this is ready, okay, there are no Android devices because I've not enabled USB debugging. Okay, so I'm going to do it without showing it to you guys right now, but after I enable it, I'll show it to you once again. Okay, so in those who are using MI phones, you have to go to about of the phone and then tap on MI UI version 5 times. Okay, once you do that, your developer option will get enabled. After that, you have to go to additional settings and open developer options. Okay, and you have to enable a few things, starting with USB debugging. That's the first thing we require. I told you in the previous class itself, please check that video. Okay, so I've enabled USB debugging in my phone, and once it is done, you can see my phone is detected by Visor. Okay, so my phone is detected here. Let me just click on view. So once I click on view, my phone actually, I have a phone here in the desk. Okay, I'm just showing it on my screen right now by using Visor. Okay, so that's because I have to enable option of MI has a lot of restrictions, guys. There is one option for install via USB. I'll have to enable that in order for this to work. So just give me a minute. It'll ask in your phone to whether to allow to install this APK, and once you have allowed, the Visor will start up. Okay, and you can see my phone screen on the on my desktop. Okay, right now I can even access my phone through this, or you can see what I'm doing with my phone. Okay, so this is the phone which I told you about. All right, so right now let me just go to the settings and show you what I meant about it. Okay, I hope the screen is visible to you guys. Okay, so here I'm in the settings of the MI phone. Okay, normally in some phones, in MI phones as well as in I think EMUI, the Huawei phones, okay, you will find that on the top called about phone. So just tap on the about phone, and you will, for MI, this is, I'm talking about MI version, people who are using MI. Okay, in some models it is build number. Here also there will be something called build and status and all those things. Just forget all those things. Just focus on MI UI version. Okay, so I just when I'm trying to tap on it right now, it's saying no need, you are already a developer. Okay, because I've already enabled that. If you keep tapping on this MI UI version, a developer option will get enabled. Let me go back, and in this settings screen I'm able to see something called additional settings. So I'm going to tap on additional settings, and in additional settings you will find something called developer options just here. Okay, so when I open developer options, since it is enabled already, I'm just showing you this option is required. I need to make sure that USB debugging is enabled and install via USB is allowed. Okay, so that from your laptop to my Android phone, the app can be established. Okay, so I'll just keep this on hold. Let me just keep it. Let me go back. If you see right now in Android Studio, since I've all kept my drivers ready, you can see my phone is detected here. I hope you guys can see this. My phone which I've connected, the real phone which I've connected is here on the list. Okay, when I open that, you can see I have two virtual devices, one running device. Okay, two virtual devices I created in the previous video. You can check that. Okay, one I created automatically, and in the video I've created one, and both are right now virtual devices. They are not running. But right now I have an actual phone which is running Android, and it's showing a Redmi Note 4. So let me just choose that and click on play. Okay, when I click on play, which means start or debug, what should happen? The Gradle should build. Okay, and after building that, the app should get installed on the actual phone here in my hand. Okay, and I should be able to see that when the installing is happening. Okay, but right now nothing is happening because it is just building in my laptop. Once the building part is done, when I go back to my when my phone will be showing, okay, and I've already given the permission. Okay, the first time you run, it will ask permission because all phones right now will ask permission for you from you. Okay, but then after that is done, you can automatically only once. After that, you say do not ask again. It will keep installing in your actual phone again and again. Okay, it will not disturb anything else. So just to test an actual phone. So if you are not able to see your phone in this list, something is missing. Okay, so let me know and we will fix it. Okay, try this in your laptop, guys. To keep your laptop faster while working with Android Studio, I always prefer an actual phone than the emulator. Alright, in the meantime, one more thing, guys. If you want this to work, you have to install something called ADB drivers. Alright, so if your laptop does not have those drivers, this part will not work of sending the app to your emulator. okay, or the phone. It will not work without proper drivers. Okay, so if drivers are not installed also, you won't be finding it. If you guys find face this issue, please do let me know. Okay, and then we will try to fix what is the problem which is coming from this. Okay, well, thank God the Gradle build is finished in 1 minute. I hope. Okay, now it's installing. Okay, so while it's installing, you can see here my phone is asking install this app via USB, and I have a choice here saying remember. Okay, so I'll have to give remember so that next time it will not ask. Okay, and I clicked on install. If you clicked on deny, it will not be allowed. Okay, but anyway, now the app is now running in my phone. Okay, I can see hello world from MCA, the one which I changed is displayed here. Okay, so let me just go back, and in my screen you're able to see that the app is getting installed, and it is installed right now there as hello world with the icon which I showed you guys. Okay, this is the launcher icon. Below that, what you see is the name which I gave when I created this application. So when I tap on it, what I see is the one which you see here with extra one toolbar on top or an app bar on top. That's all. I'll talk about these things later, but this what I changed. I changed the property of this label and I sent it, okay, to the phone, and the phone is right now running. Okay, this is how you'll be creating an app in Android Studio and you'll be deploying it on a phone or an emulator. Okay, so with this, I'll stop for today, guys. If you have any questions, please do ask.